You've probably seen those miniature AI videos all over social media: tiny workers building giant burgers, miniature chefs preparing huge meals, or tiny construction crews working inside these incredibly detailed worlds. They look impressive, but creating something like this manually would normally require animation skills, editing, and a lot of time. But what if you could create these videos just by giving AI an idea? That's exactly what MiniVerse AI claims to do. It allows you to create cinematic miniature-style videos using AI, without needing cameras, actors, physical sets, or complicated editing software. But the real question is: MiniVerse AI actually useful, or is it just another AI tool riding the trend? I explored the platform, its features, pricing, and what it actually offers. So in this video, I'll show you what MiniVerse AI is, how it works, its major features, its pros and cons, and most importantly whether it's actually worth your money. Let's get started. So first, what exactly is MiniVerse AI? MiniVerse AI is an AI-powered tool specifically designed to create miniature cinematic videos. Instead of manually creating characters, environments, animations, voiceovers, and scripts, MiniVerse AI tries to bring these things together into one platform. You basically start with an idea. For example, tiny construction workers building a giant chocolate cake. And AI helps turn that concept into a miniature visual experience. The interesting part here is that MiniVerse isn't trying to be another general-purpose video editor. It's focused specifically on the miniature video style. And considering how popular this type of content has become on platforms like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok, I can understand why creators might find this interesting. Now let's talk about the actual workflow. The process is designed to be beginner-friendly. You start by giving MiniVerse AI your idea, keywords, or script. Then you choose how you want your miniature world to look. You can create different characters, environments, objects, and scenes depending on the story you're trying to tell. And MiniVerse also includes an AI script writing feature. So technically, you don't even have to start with a complete script. You could begin with a simple idea and use AI to help develop the story. Then you can add AI-generated voices and turn everything into a complete miniature video. So the overall workflow becomes idea, script, miniature, visuals, voice, final video. And that's probably one of the biggest advantages of the platform. You don't necessarily need professional animation or video production experience to start experimenting with it. Now let's look at some of the main features. The first one is obviously the miniature character creator. MiniVerse AI allows you to create tiny AI characters for your scenes. And characters are actually very important for this type of content. Because instead of simply showing a giant object, you can create a complete story around it. Imagine tiny chefs preparing a massive pizza. Tiny mechanics repairing a giant smartphone. Or miniature construction workers building something inside a coffee cup. You can get pretty creative with the concept. And MiniVerse also supports multiple characters within a scene, which gives you more flexibility for storytelling. Another useful feature is the built-in AI voice generation. According to MiniVerse AI, the platform offers more than 100 AI voices with different accents, emotions, and styles. So instead of generating the visuals in one tool and then going somewhere else to create the voiceover, you can potentially handle both parts within the same workflow. It also supports more than 100 languages. That's particularly useful if you're creating content for audiences in different countries or if you want to experiment with multilingual content. Another thing I like is the ability to experiment with different visual styles. Because if every miniature video looked exactly the same, the concept would get boring pretty quickly. Depending on your idea, you could create something more realistic, cinematic, colorful, dramatic, or playful. And this gives creators more freedom to develop their own visual identity rather than producing the exact same style of video every time. Now, who would actually benefit from using something like this? I think the most obvious audience is content creators. especially creators making YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, or faceless content. The miniature style naturally creates curiosity because seeing tiny characters interacting with oversized objects immediately grabs your attention. I can also see this being useful for marketers and small businesses. For example, imagine promoting a coffee brand with tiny workers preparing a giant cup of coffee. Or advertising a product by creating a miniature world around it. And because MiniVerse AI includes commercial usage in its offer, freelancers and agencies could potentially experiment with creating this type of content for clients as well. Now let's quickly talk about the pros and cons. Starting with the positives. The biggest advantage is simplicity. You're taking something that would traditionally require animation, video editing, voiceovers, and potentially several different tools, and simplifying the workflow with AI. The miniature video niche is also visually interesting and works particularly well for short-form content. And having scripts, visuals, characters, and voices available within the same ecosystem could save creators time. But there are also some things you need to keep in mind. First, AI-generated video isn't always perfect. You may occasionally get visual inconsistencies or results that don't exactly match what you imagined. You might need to regenerate scenes or experiment with your prompts before getting the result you want. And second, don't assume that simply creating miniature AI videos will automatically make your content go viral. AI can help with production. But the idea, storytelling, hook, editing, and creativity still come from you. That's ultimately what determines whether people actually want to watch your content. Now let's talk about pricing. At the time of making this video, MiniVerse AI is being promoted with a one-time payment offer instead of a monthly subscription. That could be appealing, especially considering how many AI tools today require recurring monthly payments. However, these launch prices and promotional offers can change. So if you're watching this video later, make sure you check the current price and exactly what's included before purchasing. Also check whether the features you specifically want are included in the version you're considering. Never purchase an AI tool purely because of a discount timer or a big income claim. Buy it because the tool actually fits your workflow. So that's my review of MiniVerse AI. Now I want to hear from you. Would you actually use MiniVerse AI to create miniature videos? And if you could create one miniature world right now, what would you create? Drop your idea in the comments below. I'd genuinely love to see what you come up with. If you found this review helpful, make sure you hit the like button, and if you enjoy discovering new AI tools and practical ways to use them, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next review. I've also added the MiniVerse AI link in the description if you want to check out the platform for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.